Weekend Classic is here, and today I'm going to try to help you build the best squad that you can and get you the most ready you can for this Weekend Classic, the first ever Weekend Classic. And if you don't know what Weekend Classic is, let me show you real quick. So you go to multiplayer and you go to ranked, you will be able to see the Weekend Classic info. This is going to be based on your rating, the highest rating that you got. That's how they're going to match you up. And there's some big time rewards. So even if you don't feel like competing at the top level, just play your 6 games, at least 6 games, because there's a ton of rewards no matter where you're at. If you're a bronze 2, which is between 400 and 499, if you go 6-0, you get a chase pack plus everything else before. If you win 2 games out of 6, you still get 4,000 stubs plus 5 regular packs, and the 2 balling is a habit. So playing Weekend Classic is a must. Get your feet wet, go ahead and just get those games in, at least get those first 6 games and try to get as many rewards. For me personally, I am at gold 2, so I get 15,000 if I win 1 game with 40 packs. If I win 2 games, I get the 12 balling is a habit. A lot of goals there, but you get the point. 7,000 stubs. And then at wins 3 and 4, we get the Weekend Classic packs, which we already know is going to be that Carlos Correa and Corey Kluber that they showed us. Both of the card they look pretty good. Corey Kluber will be in everyone's rotation after this weekend. But if I win 5 games, I will get that 85 plus live series cards pack, which actually 4 of them, plus 10,000. And then at 6 wins, I'll get 2 chase pack and the 10,000 as well. Obviously, you can climb the leaderboard. There's more incentives there, as you can see at the bottom. If you finish first in this division, then you're gonna get 50,000 stubs plus 75 packs, and then 25,000 2 to 5. You see, you get it, right? Obviously, the higher the difficulty, the better the rewards are. If we look at Immortal, if you go 6-0 in this Immortal rating, yeah, you get the 2 packs plus 40, the 2 Weekend Classic packs plus the 40,000. You get 25 ballings to have it plus to another 20,000 stubs. You get 20 bundles, 5 times 20. 5 times 20, you get 100 packs and 25,000 stubs. You get for 4 wins, you get 25,000 stubs plus the 2 chase pack, and then at 5 wins, you get an extra 30,000 plus 88 plus live series. You know how much those are going for. And then at 6 wins, you get 250,000 stubs plus that pretty cool icon, and then obviously you can grind your way up. So there's a ton of good rewards in this Weekend Classic. You have to get ready, you have to play, and I'm going to help you get ready. I'm going to go ahead and start with pitchers. What are the best pitchers that you can use? Obviously some are better in legend and gold difficulty. If you're playing on legend and gold difficulty, you're probably not watching this video. But if you play Hall of Fame, All-Star, maybe some legend, this video will help you out, because some pitchers are better at the higher difficulties than other, and we're going to talk about that. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that you do want to make sure that your bullpen and your starters are rested, at least the first couple starters. You know that a lot of times we have to use 6 and 7 starters, but this is going to be like a ranked seasons. You want to make sure that your players are rested, your bullpen and starters are rested, because you don't want to jump into your first couple games with a starter that doesn't have full energy. But looking at the pitchers, we got Roger Clemens is the best pitcher in the game at any difficulty. The good news about this is that you probably won't be facing him a whole lot, because not a lot of people have him. So take advantage of the first Weekend Classic, because for the second one, a lot more people are going to have him, but he's definitely the best pitcher in the game. Now, the second best pitcher is Jordan Zimmermann. As you can see, very well balanced, very tough to hit. That slider, almost like a cutter. He has a sinker as well. Very solid per 9s all across the board. Just a very well-rounded pitcher who is a little bit cheaper than Roger Clemens. So you might get to face him. So maybe you can take some BP against a Jordan Zimmermann if you haven't faced him just yet, because you got to be ready, because you might run into him. Another pitcher that you might face and you might have in your rotation is Noah Schultz from the Diamond Quest. As you can see, well-balanced all across the board. He throws high 90s with that 4-seam. He has a sinker, circle change, sweeper, slider as well. Tall, lefty, very similar to Randy Johnson. Some people would say tough to hit. He does have 99 velo, 98 break at P3. So use him, but also get ready to face him. Another pitcher that it might not be as good as Noah Schultz, but he's still very solid, is Derek Crochet, another tough lefty, hard-throwing lefty. His per 9s are not as high, but his clutch is pretty decent at 87. He can actually dot with all his pitchers. You can see the control at 82 is very solid from a hard-throwing lefty like Derek Crochet. One of the top 5 pitchers for me has been Clay Buchholz, and A lot of people have been using him because he's very good, and you can see why. The clutch right there is super important for a pitcher, especially as a starter. That is elite pitching clutch, and is also he has solid hits per nines as well. And on top of that, he has a sinker and a cutter and a circle change and a curveball and a four seam. This card is very underrated. A lot of people are using him. You might face him quite a bit. Obviously, you might have some people running the Red Sox team, and this would be their captain. So get ready for Clay Buchholz and maybe plug him in your rotation. Another solid option is this Corbin Burnes, who is actually not going for quite as much now. So you can see it's about 20K. So we might see some people buying him on the market to use him for this weekend classic. 81 hits per nine, 79 clutch. He's not elite, but you can see the break and the velo there with that sinker and a cutter. He has a slider, a curveball, and a circle change as well. Corbin Burnes, every year, he just dominant. And this year, he might do it again. I'm going to mention a couple more names just because I think a lot of people are using them. We got Roki Sasaki, obviously, from the Pipeline program. He throws hard, sinker, slider, four seam as well, and a splitter. Only 4 pitches, though, so that's a good thing if you just make sure you're geared up for the fastball and the hard stuff when Roki comes in. Now, probably the second most expensive pitcher out there is Shohei Ohtani. He goes for 400,000 stubs, and he is very good in the game. The only problem with him is his control. As you can see, control is 69, which is very nice, and he has walks at 50, so he's going to be tough to dot with him. So the good thing when you're facing him, you got to be patient. Make sure he throws strikes because he's tough to control. His confidence is going to start going down, so make sure you be patient with him, make him throw strikes, and then you can do the damage. One very solid option that if you don't have just yet, you might want to get him. Outlighter, as you can see, I have him P4, so obviously he's better than what if you've never used him, but 87 hits per nine, that's a P4. He got 100 clutch, sinker, cutter guy. He dots every single thing. You can see my stats. In 22 innings, I have a 2.45 ERA with this card. He is very tough to hit because in the past, he's had a four seam, but this year they removed the four seam and added that changeup, and that gives you a big advantage to maintain and keep your opponents off balance. So try out this outlighter. You might face him as well, so get ready to, for the dots that he's going to be throwing with those sinker and cutter. Now, another pitcher that a lot of people probably already have, and it's because he's from the XP path. He's basically for free. A lot of people have sold him, but probably going to buy him back. Sinker slider guy. He's very tough to hit every single year. He's very good. He has a not good per nines as well. Very good velo. So you're probably going to be facing a Jake Arrieta at some point in your weekend classic run, so make sure you get ready to turn on those sinkers. Now, as far as bullpen arms, obviously a lot of people are going to have this Aroldis Chapman. Even if they don't have this Aroldis Chapman, they might have the live series, which is basically the same thing. Four seam, sinker, slider, changeup, or splitter, hard throwing lefty out of the bullpen. He's going to be solid as well. So we've already know what to expect from a Chapman. This Darren O'Day is very good because he can dot, but the only problem with this O'Day is that he is the AL East collection, so he's not super cheap. Not a lot of people have him just yet, but he is a sidearm thrower. If you have the AL East collection, you had to have him in your bullpen, especially righty. You're gonna be spamming that slider. It's very tough to hit that slider. And if you have a righty in your lineup that you struggle righty on, make sure you have somebody on your bench so you can pinch it late in the game and face this O'Day with a lefty. One very solid option that I'm facing basically every single game is this Devin Williams. As you can see, very solid hits per nines and clutch. He plays up every single day. He has a screwball, four seam, and a cutter. So he's very solid because of the per nines. He only has 3 pitches, but those 3, it doesn't matter when you have those 3 different pitch speeds with the fastball, cutter, and screwball. And then on top of that, inside edge just makes him a beast. Max out clutch, almost max out hits per nine as well. Now, obviously, another lefty out of the pen is going to be Mark Davis. A lot of people have this Mark Davis because he was basically for free. He does have a 5-pitch mix as well, but I don't think he's super hard to hit. He 83 velo, as you can see, that four seam might hits 96, 97. It's not too bad because everything else after that is low 80s or high 80s. So the pitch speed differential is not huge. I think you're going to be fine hitting this Mark Davis, but he's a solid option to have in the bullpen, especially lefty. Staying here in San Diego, I'm going Trevor Hoffman as another very good option out of your pen, and one that you might face. 96 hits per nine, 112 clutch. As you can see, a 5-pitch mix there with all of the different velocities. He dots every single pitch, and he's actually not super expensive because you only basically need Tatis and Jackson Merrill to complete him because he is the San Diego Padres Live Series collection. So he's not too bad to get, but he's a very good piece out of the pen, especially if you bring him after a hard-throwing pitcher like a Roger Clemens or an Aroldis Chapman. Bringing this Trevor Hoffman out there will keep your opponent off balance. Now, if you need a hard-throwing righty out of the pen, Mason Miller might be your guy. He has very good hits per nine, solid clutch as well. He only has 3 pitches, but he does have that outlet outlier in that fastball. He also has inside edge with the hits per nines. Today, right now, he's playing +9, so that is a very good option. So he's good. You're just gonna probably want to bring him when you're facing a righty. And talking about hard throwing right-handers, we already know about Emmanuel Clase. Hard cutter, hard slider, and a four seam. Only 3 pitches, but again, another card that has inside edge basically every single day. Very solid hits per nines and clutch per nine. So you might want to have that Clase and be ready to turn on those fastballs and cutters, because he's very tough to hit. If you cannot catch up to the hard stuff, you're gonna have a problem facing this Emmanuel Clase card. Now, staying in Cleveland, I'm bringing to you Andrew Miller, another lefty. Obviously, he is the Cleveland Team Affinity card at 55,000, so you basically get him for free. Elite hits per nines and clutch per nines out of the lefty. 3 pitches only, but he's a lefty specialist. This is a card you need when you need a big timeout late in the game against Juan Soto or somebody like that. This is the guy you want to bring in. Now let's go take a look at the catchers and the other different positions. Now the best catcher in the game right now is Ted Simmons. He is a little bit expensive because you do have to collect everyone in the NL Central, which includes Paul Skeens and Eli De La Cruz, but he's very good. Very high contact, very high clutch. The power is not elite by any means, but he's also a switch hitter as well. Not bad speed out of the catcher position either. His swing is not elite. I like some other catchers swing a little bit better, but he's a very good option to have behind the plate. Somebody that's been super fun to use is this Mike Napoli card. Catcher, obviously, is the Life Series collection for the Angels, which is very expensive because you got to get Mike Trout. But getting Mike Trout and Napoli from one team is very good because that solidifies your right field or center field in Mike Trout, and obviously your catcher. This is one of the best catchers in the game. He destroys lefties, and he's very good against righties still. It doesn't matter. The only problem with him is the clutch. But other than that, his swing makes up for it anyways. Now, you don't find switch hitting catchers everywhere, but Jason Varitek is a very good option if you cannot get that Simmons and you want to add some balance with a switch hitter. Jason Varitek might be your guy. Right now, I don't think he's going for a whole lot. As you can see, under 6,500 basically. You can put in an order for 5,700. Get a Jason Varitek if you haven't completed the multiplayer program to get him, because he's very solid. He's a very solid option over there behind the plate. If not, you can have him as a backup catcher to Napoli if you want. Now, if you're needing a lefty bat for some reason, and behind the plate, the Samuel Basallo is actually very solid. High contact, as you can see, 86 and 81, and very good power against lefties with 92. He is a lefty bat there. He can play first as well. And as you can see, the arm, 92 arm behind the dish. He's going to be throwing out runners out as well. So those are your top 3 catchers. Let's go check out the first baseman. Now, the best first baseman in the game is Gil Hodges. He does go for quite a bit because he's the National League Life Series collection, and that means 1.3 million stubs or something like that. But obviously, if you have him at first, you don't have to listen to the rest of the first baseman on this list, but he even has 99 bunting. Yeah, Gil Hodges is insane, but the good thing is that you're probably not going to be facing him every single game. Now, the exact opposite of Gil Hodges, this is David Ortiz. You get him for free, and he's a lefty bat. Very solid contact, as you can see. The power against lefties is not great, but it's not too bad. It's not necessarily a liability. His liability is probably on the field with his defense and speed, but his swing makes up for it, and he also has 107 clutch. And somebody that's very comparable to Big Pop is another lefty bat in Babe Ruth. He's the team affinity for the Yankees. As you can see, solid contact, very good power as well. The clutch is a little bit on the lower side, but he does have a very good swing. He's a primary right fielder, but I probably wouldn't want to start him in right field. You probably have better options there. You should have better options there. You want to plug him in as DH or first base. Another option for first base, if you need a switch hitting first baseman, Anthony Santander. He is from the Threads collection, so he is a little bit expensive, but we know about Anthony Santander, his swing, switch hitter, and that power. Contact 80 and 72 is not elite. On Legend, he might be a little bit tough. He's definitely still plays on Hall of Fame. Obviously, 86 clutch is a lot better than that contact that he has, but he's primary left fielder. I wouldn't feel comfortable using him in the outfield. I would rather have him at first or DH. So Anthony Santander, and even if you don't have this Anthony Santander, you might even be okay with using this card. He has less power and less contact, but he does have the same exact swing. He is very solid because of that swing and that power. So let's check out the best second baseman. Now, the best second baseman, in my opinion, is Ketel Marte. He is a little bit expensive, but he's worth it. He does have 54 speed with 87 reaction, so he can play center field, but you don't want to put him there. You want to put him at second base as a switch hitter with this kind of power. It's a very good, just a lot of value there at second base. Against righties, he's not as good, but he plays on inside edge a lot of the time, so that 72 contact as a P3, technically it would be 69. It would be very good with that inside edge. If they add 10, it'll be at 79. A lot of times they'll at 5 or 6, but it's still good. His swing is elite. The second best second baseman is probably Jason Kipnis, and he is the AL Central collection for the live series, so he's a little bit expensive because you do need J-Ram and Bobby Witt, which they're probably going to be in the list for other positions, but Jason Kipnis is very solid. High contact, very good power, very high clutch, as you can see as well. He's not a liability as a defender either, and he has a very good swing. But I do have to give you a little bit of a budget option, and you already know that this is one of my favorite cards of the year. Is Leo DeVere. I think that's his name. He's primary shortstop. You can put him at shortstop as well, but I put him in at second because he brings so much value. Very solid contact, a lot of power. I don't know what it is about this card, but he plays better than what the attributes show. Trust me. On top of that, he's a very good defender and very fast with 83 speed there as a parallel 4. This card, you got to give him a try. Let's see what we have for third base. I already mentioned him earlier. Jose Ramirez is an elite card. As you can see, he's supercharged right now. By the time you see this video, or definitely by the time Weekend Classic comes out, he might not be supercharged, but he's still gonna have inside edge a lot of the times. This card is unreal. Switch hitter over there at third base, 73 speed and 79 steal. You can even steal a bag or two if you need it, but he has a very small strike zone, which is very tough to pitch to, and is very good for you as a hitter because his swing is just amazing. He's gonna hit a ton of bombs for you. He's gonna destroy lefties. So if you're gonna see, if you're facing somebody like a Noah Schultz or Garrett Crochet that I mentioned, outlighter, J-Ram is going to kill them. An elite option over at third base as well is this Chase Headley. The only problem with him is that he is a little bit expensive because you need every single card from the NL West, but he destroys righties, as you can see. A little bit low on the contact against lefties, but the power is there. Same with the clutch. He's a very good defender over at third base, and on top of that, he is a switch hitter. Those switch hitters just have a ton of value. Now, this is one of the latest cards that we got. It's part of the multiplayer program. Is this Jose Bautista. He's been unreal for me. I don't know what it is. He is very good against righties with 88 and 108 power there. Against lefties, 68 contact. It doesn't matter because he is a righty. The balls are usually going to be breaking inside. You're going to be able to turn on it. He has a ton of pop. He is a primary right fielder. He's not terrible at right field, but I do think he has a lot of value there at third base as well. If you don't have any of the J-Ram or Chase Headley that I just mentioned, Jose Bautista is a very solid budget option. Somebody that is not a budget option is this Rafael Devers. He's a former Chase card, and I mean, he's not a budget option because you see the numbers, they're elite. So but you might not have the stubs for it, or you might have too many lefties on your squad, then Devers might not be your third baseman, but he's a very good card. Obviously, they're very well balanced against righties and lefties with that clutch as well. So those are the best third basemen. Let's see what we got for shortstops. For me, the best shortstop in the game right now is Francisco Lindor, and I just love the fact that he's a switch hitter. I love the fact that he has 99 fielding. I love the fact that he plays on inside edge a lot of the time, most of the days anyway. So the clutch is a little bit low, but his swing makes up for it. That 99 fielding is amazing over a short. He's not as fast, and he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's very solid at short. Another very good option at short is this Mookie Betts. He is a little bit expensive because he is Mookie Betts, but as you can see, inside edge, he's playing +11 against righties today. He's just well balanced. He's not as fast as you would think with 47 speed as a P2, so 45 if you don't have any parallels, but he's Mookie Betts. His swing is very good. Another one that has a very small strike zone. It's very tough to pitch. You probably, if you face him, you know what I'm talking about, but he's very good. He obviously has all the quirks as well. That makes up for it too, and just Mookie's probably the second best shortstop for me. A little bit of a cheaper option, and one of my favorite cards every single year is this Elly De La Cruz. He's very good against righties. Obviously, he's playing with inside edge right now. He's just not very good against lefties. So that's a problem, but the fielding and the speed. So you can see the fielding, the arm, and the speed. He's going to be making every single play over there at shortstop. Maybe he's your ninth hitter, and him as the ninth hitter and that defense and speed is basically your second leadoff hitter there on your lineup. I'm not mad at that. Let's talk about the best outfielders in the game. Yeah. I mean, Carlos Beltran. That's it. If you have him, you're starting him. You might not face him a whole lot, but if you have him, you're starting him. Let's move on to the next one. Juan Soto. Just because I was on the Mets, I got to show you a Juan Soto. I've been loving this card. I have him P3 already, and I haven't even been using him a whole lot just yet, but plus 10 right now against righties. He is very solid against lefties. You can see that 106 clutch. His swing is very good. And honestly, as a fielder, he's not terrible. 50 speed is not great, but he does have 80 reaction. So if you can plug him in right field, have that power there, he's not terrible. And the arm is not too bad either. Another outfielder that has been very good for me is Manny Ramirez. As you can see, I have him P5, and they fixed the drag lag thing that was going on Xbox. So if that was a problem for you, maybe you're good now. He's just solid all across. And as you can see, the reaction and the fielding is not great, but for some reason, he gets a ton of perfect jumps for me in left field. He's made one error, but I think that's it. He dropped a fly ball. I've had drop fly balls with Carlos Beltran in BR. I think that's part of the game. It happens. Unfortunate, but it happens. And he's just not a liability in left field. And a righty bat has a lot of value because there's not a ton of just righty hitters. So yeah, Manny should be in your squad, at least on the bench. Manny obviously is super cheap. He's going for about 20 something, or you could have gotten for free in the XP path. Brian Reynolds is not free. He goes for over 100K. So he's a little bit more expensive, but he's a mini version of that Carlos Beltran. Obviously not as much contact or power because he's a 90 overall, but he is a switch hitter with very good fielding and very good speed as well, and an elite swing. His swing might be even better than Carlos Beltran. Obviously the attributes are not there to back it up, but Brian Reynolds is a very good option. I probably wouldn't break the bank to try to get him for the weekend classic because there's still very good options out there, but if you have him, you're starting him. Mike Trout, yep, next. And we're talking about outfield, and I would probably never start Jordan Alvarez in the outfield because his defense and speed and reaction is terrible. He is your DH though. He's the best DH right now in the game. I have him P5 and I wasn't even trying. He's playing -3 on the inside edge for some reason. It doesn't matter. He's that good at he's one of the best hitters in the game. You got to have him in your lineup. If not, at least on the bench. And honestly, he's not even that bad. If you have to spend 35, 40K to add him to your squad, do it. Thank me later. I have to mention Roman Anthony. He was my center fielder for the longest. Right now I have Mike Trout, and that's the only reason why I bench him, but I kind of want to put Roman Anthony back in the lineup. Very solid fielder, very solid everywhere. The only problem, I guess, for him is 70-something, 60-something power against lefties. His swing is elite. He makes every single play over at center field as well. You can plug him in the corner outfields as well. This is a very cheap option as well, obviously from the pipeline program and that collection there. But if you haven't tried Roman Anthony out, you might want to do that now. Last outfield that I'm mentioning, and let me know down in the comment section below what are some of the names that I haven't mentioned that have been your favorite so far. But I'll mention Aaron Judge. The power is there, the clutch is there, the contact is there. You probably don't want to put him in center field, but you want to hide him in right field, maybe as a DH. But if you got Jordan, I'd rather have Jordan there. But Aaron Judge, he has the power. He does have a very big strike zone, which is a little bit tough to hit with. But if you have him, you spend the stubs on him, might as well use him. But a good bench bat, even if you can't find a spot for him. I think a lot of times we've seen lineups struggle trying to find a righty to hit, and Aaron Judge can fix that for you. But that will do it for me. I wanted to give you some options at every single position, and I wanted to talk about some of the pitchers that you might be facing in Weekend Classic. But let me know down in the comment section below, what is your lineup looking like going into the first ever Weekend Classic? This is a big weekend for MLB The Show, but I hope you guys killed it this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I'll check you out on the next one. This is YeYo, and I'm out.